I was always hopeful, no anger. And then I was just sort of like, really, really, can we just get this? I mean, is this ever going to stop? And so we went to Dr. Chiric again, and he did not want to go back in. And he referred us to Dr. Berger at UCFS. And so we flew out there. Well, Dr. Berger and I traded a lot of telephone calls and MRIs, and he happened to know his oncologist here. And so he and Dr. P were in Pay Logos were in contact. And finally he said, I'm not sure. I really want to see him in person. I'd like to do my own MRIs. So we went out there as a family, did the little cable cars and tried to have a little happy little family vacation to go see if Stanton's tumor had to be operated on. And it was really probably the nicest part of that meeting. He talked to Stanton alone first, and then he pulled the family in and talked to all of us. And he said, I just want you to know that your mother is the best advocate I've ever seen. And he said, if I ever get sick, I want her to take care of me, not my wife. And it was like, it's such an act of love to care for somebody who's been sick, or facing a brain tumor. But you don't get pats on the back, I mean, you don't, people are either afraid that they'll catch cancer or, not that many people know that much about brain tumors. So they come around, or they'll bring you dinners, which was lovely when Stanton was sick. But to hear that from one of the top brain surgeons, all that hard work and all that fight to keep Stanton alive, that was wonderful to hear. And it was wonderful for my family to hear it from him, because I wasn't marching around the house with, I'm the greatest sign on my chest all the time. I cry myself to sleep or try to stay strong for Stanton, but for everybody. But it was nice to hear. So anyway, he operated on him out there. And that was 2008. Yeah. And then that time they did radiate. And he went on 2 years at Timidor. And his sister got married in June after the surgery, when he was going through radiation and losing his hair. So at our house in West Virginia. And there again, people were just so supportive. Everybody, all the groomsmen wore baseball caps with my daughter and with my dad, like with a PNR Peckroth on their little, I got him made. His best friend from college his dad owns a sports store. So he had these cute monogrammed hats made. So it just looked like a country wedding where the groomsmen had on baseball caps. And it was great for Stanton but then by the end of the night, he had his little bald, beat up head with no hat on, which was fine. But even that was a great testimony to my daughter and our family, and that we just kept doing what we do, doing what was normal, tried to keep it as normal as possible.